Marsha Wright, thanks very much for joining me again on one of my little snippet tips. It's great to have you, and I'm going to share with you something that I think is really useful. This is called how you can get money from people who owe it to you. One of the big things that people have problems with is that they produce products and services, or they deliver products and services, and they're really waiting ages for customers to come back and pay them. Now, this is actually something that is going to be relevant specifically to UK clients with some of the things I'm going to say, but even if you're overseas, there's some bits in here that you could find useful. See if it works in your own home country or wherever you are. But you know, England is actually the worst country in Europe for paying invoices on time, paying bills on time. Whereas you might have a 30-day invoice period, on average that takes 60 days, as much as 90 days to be paid by a company. And as long as people can use services and not pay for them, that's their cash flow plan. Of course, it's a sad plan, because what happens is companies find themselves in financial battles and financial issues because of that. And what I would encourage you to do is obviously to stretch out as long as it takes for you to pay the invoices that you have. But make sure you don't trade insolvent, that is acquired debts, etc., that you know that you don't have the ability to pay for when they fall due. But I wanted to give you a couple of tips on how to recover monies from your clients. First part is always make sure you have an accounts department. Now, even if you're a small one-man band, don't call up and say, "Hi, it's Jim, have you got my money yet?" Right? Don't do that. What you want to do is you want to make sure you've got an accounts department email address, okay? And you want to make sure that all emails about accounts and about money, everything, all goes from there. You want to make sure that you have a person who is going to be able to make those phone calls, so it's not just you. Especially if you're a small business or one-man band, two-man band, or whatever. It's really, really difficult when customers get comfortable with dealing with you, so they're not afraid of you, really. So you know, it's really good if you've got somebody who's got a very deep, horrible, scary voice who can actually call up and not really be rude or anything like that, but you want to have somebody who can actually call up and say, "Hi, I'm calling from blah blah blah. I'm calling to collect the invoice that you owe, and I'd like to speak to you about it. When is this going to be paid? It is overdue. We need payment within the next 5 days, please. Are you going to do that? Can I take your credit card details so that we can actually take that payment?" Now, what gets really interesting is if your customer is really stubborn, they're going to either lie to you, say that they put it in the post today, or they're going to say they'll put it in the post tomorrow, or, you know, if you've got some people who are just late and then you've got people who are dodgers. I'm talking about specifically the dodgers, okay? What you can do at that point is say to them, "That's fine, we do have a courier in your area, and I can have the courier come to your office tomorrow and pick it up." Now, there's a company who we use, I don't know if it's going to be in your area, but just find a local courier who picks stuff up. £5, maybe £10 it will cost you for them to pick it up from them and then come in to get it. Or you can say, "Yeah, we're going to be in your area tomorrow, I'll come in and I'll get the check, or I'll be in the afternoon." If they don't have the money, they will actually make excuses as to why you cannot come and pick up the check. Then you know what position that person is in. Okay, you know what position that person is in. So then the next thing to do, if that person's still dodging, they haven't made that payment, you can do one of two things. You can either A, start threatening court action, which is long, tedious, and to be honest with you, even though you can get a CCJ against somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to get the money. It's about being able to collect the money and not just go and have a long legal battle. But the thing that you want to do is you want to actually make sure that you can get in contact with them and make a decision as to which way you want to go. If you want to go the court route, I'll give you a tip for that. However, if you want to try to go the debt collection route, I'm going to give you a tip for how you can do that, and it's not going to cost you a penny. Now, one of the things that when I used to work in this property management company years ago, we had thousands of tenants. So it was really one of those things where we always used to try to get rent from people, etc., for them to pay up their rent on time. Now, what we would do is we would actually send out a letter, and I didn't realise that the letter we were sending out, which on the letterhead, no word of lie, on the letterhead, it actually said ABC Collections, or whatever it was. It was a scary name anyway, Collections Limited, da da da, whatever, right? And in fact, I don't even think it had a limited after it. It just said blah 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 collections, and then it had like a PO box address, or it had the address of another site, so it didn't look like it was coming from that company. So it looked like it really was a different company. and it had, you know, the logo was red, and it was a red letter, and it said, you know, you are in breach of blah blah blah, your payment must be made within the next 5 days, otherwise court action will be taken up against you, blah blah blah. Now if you've ever had a letter like that, I'll be honest, I've had letters like that when I was broke. Okay, you know what's in the letters, go ahead, just copy it. Hey, copy it, put it in your own letter, and have an admin system for chasing money from clients. So what we did, right, in the company where I used to work, we used to put that stuff on there. The letterhead itself was red, it was printed on good stock paper, we sent it out by first class post. It said blah 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 collections, your payment is overdue, blah blah blah, and then basically we'd send that and say send check back immediately, alternatively we are going to take legal action. And then you literally have that company, it's not really that company because the company doesn't exist, it's you with another letterhead, right? Make sure it's not a company that exists, okay, though, because that would be illegal. But what you can do is you basically send it to these companies, and then you actually put on there, this is who, you know, this is a collection agency, we've had to forward it to the collection agency, they will take you to court, if they, you know, they're going to get a commission on taking the money off of you, so they're going to be very, very hard in pursuing this. I want to keep a relationship with you, Mr. Customer, but I can't do it in this economy with you not making your payments to me on time, so I need you to settle that account to make that payment. If that doesn't work, okay, if that doesn't work, what you do is you have somebody call, again from your office, it doesn't have to be you, it can be your uncle, it could be your brother or whoever, right? But you have somebody call with a different voice, just not you, and you use a different name, okay? It doesn't have to be your name. My name is, I don't know, Ralph Smith from blah 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 collections in respect to your debt with blah blah blah. And you chase it that way. You do phone calls, you do those emails, etc. And then the point of that, if they haven't made that settlement and they're not communicating with you, the next step to do is to actually go to small claims court. That is something that you can do, and you don't need a solicitor to do it, but it depends how big the case is. But I would say to you that what you do is you go on to, if you're in the UK, you go onto a website called Northampton County Court, or if you put in Google money claim online, and you can use this to claim money from everybody, from individuals who owe you money. You've lent somebody money, they're not paid you back, you can do that with that. Or if it's a company who should have paid you but they haven't paid you, etc., you can do all of this through that. And if they don't respond within 14 days, you'll have a county court judgment against them. You'll be able to apply for a judgment against them, and you'll be able to enforce that judgment. And it can get as serious as being able to actually ensure that money that comes into an individual, if it's an individual, money that comes into that individual from their job, it will actually be taken from their salary to make sure you're paid. So there are things to do if you're actually in a position where your customers are not paying you. You can get help. Hopefully that's helped. It's not normally my area of expertise, but hopefully you've learned something there, giving you some things you can do if you're running a business and you're really just trying to get money off clients and it's not working. Hopefully that's been helpful. I'm much more deal normally with how to become successful in business, make more money in business, grow your portfolio of businesses and properties, etc. If you do want to check me out, go ahead and go to www.marshawright.co.uk. Alternatively, you can drop me an email at success.stories@marshawright.co.uk. Finally, if you want to find me on Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/marshawright.co.uk. That's facebook.com/marshawright.co.uk. Thanks very much for finding me here, and hopefully you've found that useful. Please comment. Let me know if you've enjoyed listening to this, if you've learned anything, if you need any pointers or you need any help, you need some direction to move forward, feel free to get in contact. Looking forward to hearing from you. Take care, and hopefully you'll continue to learn more stuff that can help you be successful. Take care for now. Marsha Wright.